Welcome back. It is now week 16 of looking over my shoulder at how Profit First works in my firm. I am a Profit First professional. I have been for over 3 years. I've been using Profit First for longer than that. And I wanted to show how Profit First works because when I meet with people, they'll say, I read the book, but I don't get it. Or I read the book and I can't get past how the percentages work, or I don't understand the transfers. So this series is meant to give you an overview, and instead of opening up my bank online account and flipping through the different bank accounts to show the transfers and the balances and all that, I put together this spreadsheet. The top just says what week we're in. I'll end up adding the amount of deposits. But here are the accounts that I have. So I have 6 accounts. I have my income account, which will be my deposit number up here. And then I have a profit account, owner's comp account, tax, OPEX, which are all from the book. And then I have an account for my mastermind, which is monthly dues, plus we meet several times a year in person. So it's all the travel expenses that are associated with meeting up with this mastermind group. Here's the percentages for each account of how things are going to get allocated, my bank account balance before any allocations were done, and then I'll show you the activity in these accounts. This allocation column calculates automatically. Now I bank at Relay, and Relay lets me set up an automatic every Monday morning based on these percentages you see here, my total income from last week, my total deposits from last week, get allocated out automatically. It's on autopilot. I love it. The things that I have to go in and enter for this series is then to show you what I've paid and what I've transferred on my own outside of those allocations. And then you'll see my ending balances. If you notice over here, I have a number written in yellow, and that's because I overspent on my mastermind. I spent extra time before and after my conference out of town in September, and between my hotel and food and entertainment, all of that ended up being slightly higher than what I had budgeted for. And so I'm still working on paying that off. What happened was all of those expenses were on my credit card. I have already paid off my credit card, but I need to reimburse my OPEX account for the amount that the OPEX paid for those expenses. And at this point, I still owe $1158.18 to the OPEX account from my mastermind account. We'll talk about that more in a second. The next thing, I guess the last thing to show, is for these bank accounts, each account has a corresponding graph. And that'll give you the time. So over the 16 weeks, this is the balance each week for these accounts. And so profit goes up, and then at quarter end, I took my distribution. Now I'm building it back up again. Owner's comp, it goes up, and then I pay myself every other week. So it's up every week. There's always money being added to it every week, but I get paid every other week. So it's up, down every other week. And then tax account runs similar as the profit account. It builds up for a quarter, and then I make my estimated tax payment. It goes down, and then it builds back up again. OPEX is the craziness that I'm trying to eliminate from my life, which is why I use Profit First as my cash management system. So see how it's crazy high and then low and then high and low and high and low. It's this variability that I'm trying to avoid. That's why I have multiple bank accounts, because these are predictable and they're known. This, while most of it's known, it's pretty erratic how this money goes up and down. And then my mastermind account starts off high and then it builds. And what happens for my mastermind is 100% of my mastermind costs, whether it's dues or travel, meals, entertainment, whatever it is, are on my credit card statement. I contribute to this all through the month. And then whatever the amount on my credit card statement that I can tie back to my mastermind, I take the money out of my mastermind and reimburse my OPEX account. And then it builds back up again. for a month and then again. So it's just this constant. Okay. Now that we're in week 16, I don't have a profit distribution because it's not quarter end. This is not payroll week for me. I got paid last week. I got paid on the, for this series, it's the odd number weeks. So we're in week 16. Tax account, it is not a quarter payment due time. So I don't have any tax account activity. My OPEX, I pay one routine check to my landlord each month, which that's already been paid. And then I pay my credit card balance. And both of those already been paid. So I don't have any activity in that is for this week. My deposit this week was $5,986.34. And you'll see as soon as I enter that, this spreadsheet does the math. And these agree to what Relay allocated out to all of my accounts for me. So the only thing that I have to do this week is I'm still working to pay this amount down. I am going to reimburse, which means I'm going to transfer from my mastermind account to my OPEX account. These allocations have already been done. I am now going to take the money, 100% of the money that's in my mastermind account, and I'm going to transfer it over to my OPEX account. And so I will update the balance. So I still have $740 left to repay. I got a little carried away. I was excited to see some people I haven't seen in a while. That's all that I have for this week. It's probably one of my shorter videos. If you have any questions, please let me know. I can be reached at podcast@profitscalethrive.com. Looking forward to seeing you next week.